If I have to take a drug test and have a background check done on me before I can get a job and make money to support the welfare program, then the people in the welfare program should also be drug tested, according to www.debate.org/opinions. This study is relevant because the welfare system has been around for a very long time, and it's an ongoing debate whether or not to drug test these welfare recipients. I am credible on this topic because I have read multiple academic sources and papers in order to better learn the program and the requirements for the welfare system. The U.S. should require drug testing for welfare recipients. Today I will first discuss the flaws in our current system, and second I will show ways of instilling my thesis. The current way the government is set up allows for corruption throughout the system. Alcohol and drug abuse accounts for a large part of the corruption within the current system set up by the government. According to www.irp.wisc.edu, last updated June of 1999, the 1992 National Household Survey of Drug Abuse reports that 15.5% of recipients were impaired by drugs or alcohol, which is twice the rate of non-recipients. It's also quoted from another website called www.ncbi.nlm.nah.org, last updated in February 1996, that the percent of heavy drinkers that receive welfare are 13.2% of those dependent with children, of 11.5% of those in the Women and Children and Infants program, and 13.8% on food stamps. So a good deal of our population that requires welfare are taking advantage of the system. The Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1988 attempted to limit the abuse of drugs for welfare recipients, but the loophole was the requirements were written that, as quoted from www.repository.law.indiana.edu, last updated April of 1991, that welfare could be denied to convicted drug possessors for up to 1 year, first-time drug traffickers for up to 5 years, and third-time traffickers permanently, which doesn't account for the fact that these people can hop in and out of rehab and hop in and out of the welfare program without being drug tested or regulated upon their staying clean. It's also a diagnosis of mental disorders of drug abuse can alleviate some of the abuse. You drug test them, you figure out the issues, and you put them in a rehabilitation program based off of that. According to www.irp.misc.edu, last updated June of 1999, that much trauma comes from the beginning of a childhood. Apparently, according to the Welfare to Work program in New Jersey, 22% reported they have been raped, 55% have reported domestic abuse, and 20% have been sexually molested at some point in their lives, which leads to drug abuse, and no rehabilitation programs have ever been put in place for these people. They also have a ton of barriers to overcome already, which drug testing could help to alleviate one of those barriers. www.irp.wisc.edu, last updated June of 99, said that individual barriers were significantly associated with not working at least 20 hours a week, including low levels of education, work skills, lack of access of transportation, poor health, drug dependence, major depression, and experiences of workplace discrimination. You're going to get drug tested even at work, so let's prepare people for the drug testing before they get into the job market. We can unite to help push the government to passing a law that drug testing must be necessary for people to receive welfare. Drug testing can help diagnose people with an issue, help them get into a rehabilitation program, can help them get over some of the barriers and get back on their feet, and that's something I'm okay with funding. We can first help to affect change on a local level. I work 2 jobs and go to school full-time. I want to make sure that my paychecks are going to something that's worthwhile and something that's helping people. So I think one way we could show is volunteering at some shelters, because then you're going to see that these people actually do need our help. They do need the funds. You could also write the governor or protest when you feel strongly or you hear about a case. Write the governor. Give them your opinions. Help to argue in front of the courts to see that we are educated and we know what we're talking about. We can also affect change on the national level by learning about the cases that have already come up to the Supreme Court and relearning from them and learning ways in which to represent them. Some people in this class, I know it's a big deal for a comm class to go in front of the Supreme Court, but some of us could become lobbyists or politicians or lawyers that can affect change in the world. One of the current flaws that is in the national level is www.forwardschool.umich.edu states, last updated in August 2000, that the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996 was that the welfare reform redefined the goals and daily operation of public and can be re-examined and challenged. So these acts that are already in place can be challenged, and they're open to being challenged. So let's challenge them. We can affect change in the world with the right persuasion, information, and facts to back up our claims. Today I first discussed the problems with the current system in the U.S., and second, I discussed the ways of instilling my thesis. I want to make sure that the money I make is going to a cause that's worthwhile, to rehabilitate people that are in need. The start of this is to ensure that people stay clean, get routine drug testing to get them back into the job market to reach their full potential. Thank you.